I used to think death was the end of everything, until one man taught me that love can begin even where life ends. These were the words spoken by Nurse Alina at a crowded health seminar 5 years later, words that would shake the hearts of everyone listening. But before she stood under bright lights, sharing hope, she lived a life surrounded by shadows. Alina Malik was 32 years old and had worked as a hospice nurse for nearly a decade. Every day, she stood at the door between life and death. Some would call her an angel, others just a nurse. But in her heart, she was hollow. Her days were filled with quiet sobs, last goodbyes, the beeping of monitors slowing to silence, and holding hands that would soon go cold. She had buried her smile deep beneath the weight of grief she carried home every night. She had no family of her own. Her mother had died of cancer when she was 17, and her father left soon after. She had once been engaged, but he couldn't handle her world, the constant loss, the emotional exhaustion. He walked out, saying, "I can't spend my life waiting for you to come back from someone else's deathbed." She never tried again. Alina had become a shell with a purpose, showing kindness to those at their weakest, while forgetting what it meant to live for herself. Until Yusuf arrived. Yusuf Raymond was 28, admitted to the hospice with end-stage leukemia. A former schoolteacher, he had been given just 3 months to live. But Yusuf was different from every patient Alina had ever cared for. Most came in with fear, regret, or denial. Yusuf came with a smile. He greeted everyone by name, joked with the janitor, and thanked the nurses even when he was too weak to lift his head. Alina noticed him right away, not just because he was young, but because he glowed in a place where everyone was fading. "What are you so happy about?" she asked one day, frustrated and curious. "I'm dying," he said with a gentle grin. "But I'm not dead yet. I still have time to make someone laugh. That's enough for me." Alina thought he was delusional, naive, but she found herself pausing at his room more often, lingering to hear his stories. He told her how he used to read poetry to his students, how he loved Urdu ghazals and the rain, how he believed in writing letters more than texts. She laughed more in those 3 months than she had in the past 3 years. One evening, Yusuf asked her a question she wasn't prepared for. "Alina, when was the last time you did something just for yourself?" She blinked. "I don't remember." "That's a shame," he said. "You're so busy helping people die, you've forgotten how to live." That night, she sat in her car and cried. Not because she was sad, but because she realized how empty she had become. Yusuf wasn't teaching her how to cope with death. He was showing her how to live while she still could. 1 week later, Yusuf's condition worsened. His organs were failing. The end was near. Alina stayed by his side, even after her shift ended. He whispered, "I wrote something for you. It's in the drawer." After he passed, Alina opened the drawer, trembling. It was a handwritten letter. "Dear Alina, you were never just a nurse to me. You were the last person who made me feel human. Thank you for being my final sunrise. You reminded me that even on your worst days, you still gave others their best. I hope you give yourself that kindness too. Please live for me. Take that trip. Read that poem. Dance in the rain. Fall in love. Let yourself begin again. Yours, with gratitude, Yusuf." She clutched the letter to her chest and broke down in sobs that shook her soul. A year later, Alina resigned from hospice care, not because she gave up, but because she finally understood she needed healing too. She took a sabbatical, went to the northern valleys Yusuf once told her about, and wrote her first book, The Light in the Dying Room. It became a quiet success, touching thousands who had lost someone, and many who had lost themselves. She started speaking at hospitals, supporting nurses struggling with emotional burnout. She smiled again, not just for others, but for herself. And one rainy evening, as she stood under a canopy waiting for a cab, a man approached her with a bouquet of jasmine flowers. "I read your book," he said. "It saved me." She smiled gently. "Then Yusuf saved us both." Final message. Sometimes, we spend our lives giving away light until we forget we have any left. But even in the silence of a dying room, there can be a beginning. Alina found hers not through a miracle, but through one dying man's wish for her to live. So if you're watching this, take a moment. Breathe. Laugh. Call someone you love. Live for yourself. End of story. Want more emotional journeys like this? Like the video and subscribe to True Ember Stories. Let the warmth of true human connection fill your heart again.